I've known Tom Steever for more than a quarter of a century. I met him here in Kansas City when I attended my first National Association of Farm Broadcasting convention in 1987. I've always liked him personally, believe it or not, and admired him professionally, as most of us have. So when I had the opportunity nearly a decade ago to court Tom to come to work for me at Brownfield Ag News, I knew I had to devise a foolproof plan to entice Tom, as well as Lori and Brian, to pack up their things and move from the Chicago area to the thriving metropolis of Jefferson City, Missouri. After a formal interview in our office in Jefferson City, I took Tom to a restaurant in Jamestown, Missouri, a couple of miles from where I live. The back of the menu at the Lucky Dog reads, cold beer, bait, groceries, and fine dining. As you can imagine, Tom was in heaven. Over at least a gallon of iced tea and breaded tenderloin sandwiches the size of our heads. I worked hard to convince Tom to join the Brownfield Ag News team. Although I pretended that I was conducting the interview, I think he and I both knew that I was the one being interviewed. After our 4.5-hour lunch, we drove on out to the farm where Tom met my husband Jim. And when Tom spotted Jim's guitar, the conversation began and they immediately became friends. If you know Tom, you know that his faith and his family come first, followed closely by his love of farm broadcasting and music. I thought that I might try to tell some funny stories about Tom. Obviously, everyone else had all those figured out. You know, things like the fact that, Tom, you have more hair care products on your desk than all of the women at Brownfield combined. 3 cans of hairspray. or the fact that you have some really strange and expired food items in your desk.
They're only dates.
But I decided not to go down that road. Many words come to mind when I think of Tom. Seriously, generous, caring, grounded. We all know Tom has a great set of pipes, even better than Orion this evening. And he's an excellent journalist. Tom is, as we heard earlier, very detail-oriented in particular, and as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that at the end of the day, after I've gone, he comes in and edits anything that I might have put together. Tom is the head cheerleader on the Brownfield Ag News team. As a manager, I like to recognize truly outstanding work. I don't really believe in, you know, recognizing mediocrity. Tom does. How many times have you, Tom's fellow farm broadcasters, seen the emails, OMG, best story ever? When you know it's just an okay story. Tom thinks it's great. Despite the honors and the recognitions that Tom has received over this many years, he remains humble. Watch the audience when Tom delivers remarks at American Farm Bureau Federation Annual Convention or Commodity Classic or any of the other events where he has represented your National Association of Farm Broadcasting over these many months. And you will see how comfortable Tom makes everyone else feel. He's never forgotten where he came from. His family farm in South Dakota his early days in radio, his long hair, all that stuff, the dorkiness, you know. As my husband says, it's important to dance with who brung ya. Tom Steever does that. His sincerity and his humility are beyond reproach. Tom has represented all of us well. With his skill set and his attitude, Tom Steever could be anywhere. And I know I speak for all of your Brownfield Ag News family gathered here this evening when I say that I am so grateful, Tom, that you and Lori and Brian and Katie chose to be a part of the Brownfield Ag News family. Okay, enough of, as Mike Deering calls it, the love and trust and pixie dust. It is my pleasure to introduce to you my husband and Tom's friend, Jim Puyear, to wrap up our little part of this evening.
Damn, Steever, you got a passel of friends now, ain't you? I mean, some of them acting that way, some of them got a funny way of showing it, but I think they're friends. Everybody looks so nice tonight. I'd like to see y'all dressed up and all. I kind of worried about this deal to begin with. I told Cyndi the closest thing I got to a tuxedo is a damn cat, you know. And Cyndi Cunningham will tell you he looks better than I do. And she slept with the son of a bitch. Well, this goes to show you, if you're pretty good looking, well dressed, good haired and long tailed, and neutered, you got a chance with Cunningham. She's got her criterion by God. And speaking of outfits, Littlefield, stand up and let's have a gawk at you. Now listen. Now is that look, if you was home at Jamestown, the boys would not be saying, you not might only be game, you be coming in season. And I gotta ask this, because a friend put me up to, do those shoes glow in the dark? Because it's killing Pastor, he's just gotta know. He can't help himself, he's just not, we've worked on him for years. So anyhow, you know what happened, don't you, Steever? Nutmeg's what happened. Nutmeg called me on the phone, told me to do this deal, and you ain't got to take my word for it. You talk to Dave Russell. When Nutmeg tells you to do something, you might got to do it or pay the consequences. It ain't no wonder he looks so bad. So I love the death out of you, but I'm scared to hell of Nutmeg, so that's why I'm here. So Nutmeg said, what I want you to do is put a little story together and throw it to music about how Tom got to be where he's at today and starting where he come from. And I thought to myself, how the hell am I going to do this? So a few cigarettes, a little ethanol later, I began to get motivated. So I took the times that we were playing music together a little bit, and some of the candid statements that I had extracted from you. Of course, we were drinking Tom Steever's pretty heavily at the time, and so maybe the facts not only be extorted, they might be distorted as well. And at the very last minute, I decided I wouldn't change the names to protect the sinfully guilty. We just left that alone. And if you get honorable mention in this song, you get what you damn well deserve. So this is my short story about Tom. It'd be nice if I got to pick out these strings and play a lot cleaner. Gonna listen to a story about a man named Tom. Poor South Dakotan, barely kept the cattle fed. Then one day he heard Max on the air and he said, you know what, we might help that boy out up there. Chi-town. Chandler, the mother of all workloads. Some little guy running around calling himself Max. What a dichotomy. And big O. How the hell do you get a nickname like that anyway, from a donut? And this contraption called Orion. Well, who ever heard of such a thing anyway? Sounded neat, more like an Orient Express. And you know, that didn't vote too well for all the passengers on board. You know, the next thing you know, Cyndi heard him on the air. She said, Tom, you know, you need to move the hell away from there. Say, Brownfield is the place you ought to be. And he loaded up the truck and moved it to City. Hills, you say, there ain't a flat place in that town. Some guy running around calling himself Gary, raising hell with the liberals all the time. I miss that guy. Who's this Clyde and Stan dudes? And what they got to do with it anyway? Oh, I don't see them much around anyway, I guess I'll stay. And next thing you know, Brant called him on the phone and said, hey, Steever, try running this up the flagpole. He said, you ride with me and I'll make you president and we can raise hell with print media. Print media, who the hell they think they are anyway? Sound like a bunch of damn snots if you ask me. Writing don't take no talent. Broadcasting, now that takes talent. Can I get a hell yeah on that one? You remember saying all this shit? Well, now it's time to say goodbye to Tom and all his friends. He would like to thank you all for a kind drop in the den. You're all invited back next year to this locality to have a heap of help of NAFB. I guess we'll find out a little later tonight, won't we? Don't come back now, next year. Special thanks to Nutmeg for putting this all together.
Great job. Very good.
Are you okay?
Who's talking?
But Mom Steever is not. She is sitting out there saying, is that my son? Yeah, it is.